So typically, what I do through this time is 4:30 or 4 to 4:30 is when I do art. That's when I do my sketching for my ideas. It's when I get the, if you can see it, the canvas from last time, when I get canvases prepped. I do a half hour of art stuff a day, and I limit myself to that half hour because have you ever noticed when you're working on a project and you get yourself so involved into it that you forget everything else around you and then you forget your responsibilities, and that's a wonderful feeling, and I truly love that feeling. But unfortunately for my life, it fucks everything up because what I need to be doing is other things at that time. I need to be cleaning my house, I need to be doing chores. There's a lot of other shit that I need to get done every single day besides having an 8-hour job, on top of being an artist, doing commissions, having to do social media, trying to find out more ways of being entertaining. Um, so I don't allow myself to go more than a half hour anymore because I know that I can do another half hour tomorrow. So I don't need to get it all done today. Every day is about taking one tiny step. So today's step, I just wanted to hang out with y'all while I worked on getting some things updated on my website. But I'm not going to be talking about what I'm doing as much as just talking with y'all. So, I haven't seen anybody in the chat or anything, so I'm just probably not going to even look at that. What I'm going to be mostly doing is talking about my ideas and what I think about. What I think about during the day. Um, Probably what I think about most during my days is well, especially like a day like today, which is Mercury Day. I focus on communication, and I spend a lot of my time working on my ability to communicate, not for the reason of wanting to necessarily be understood more, because that is a wonderful thing. I would love to be understood more and deeper, but so does everyone. But I want to be able to understand others in the way that they understand themselves. So like, there's many different ways of communication. There's different types of love languages, as the internet has propounded. Um, there's body language, there's verbal language. There is the social context. If you have ever been around someone that is very unsocially aware and in a group, there is an unspoken language. It's not always body language. And it's not always just eye contact. There's like a feeling of, you want to tell this person, you're annoying me, or please don't do that, but you have to do it in ways that are tactful. So you have to perform certain actions to let them know, hey, fuck off. Like if someone is being overly talkative towards you, especially in the workplace when you're trying to get things done, and the other person doesn't want to work. They don't want. Some people, that is perfectly fine. If you don't want to work, that's your prerogative. I like to work. I like to get things done. It makes my day go by faster. It makes me feel more accomplished. But the best way to do that is to, instead of, oh, stop. Be completely silent. You don't even have to look at them. Am I saying ignore someone? Yes. Because if you just keep on feeding into the behavior, it will be, what you're doing is you're rewarding the behavior that annoys you by giving affirmations of, yes, I am listening, yes, I am giving you attention. When you stop giving that person attention, they go to someone else because they want to get attention from someone. Because they don't actually want to do anything for their attention. For the attention, they don't want to deserve attention. They just want attention for attention's sake. That's their own psychological issue that they have to deal with. forgot where I was going with that, but it sounded pretty fucking cool. Obviously, I am a young man who only has a very small experience of life, a little small slice of knowledge, and only a speck of wisdom. Hopefully to get more as the years go by. So take whatever I say with a grain of salt, and knowing that I'm self-aware in my own ignorance, that I am ignorant of things that I don't know, and that I know that I don't know what I don't know, which is really not complicated, convoluted maybe? So I don't know how long the stream is going to be today. Probably going to cut it short. My beautiful wife, is coming home a little bit early. She got off work early, and she texted me not that long ago. So we're going to see. So when she gets here, I'm ending it because she's more important than, I'm going to be honest, the internet. I prefer being with her than being online. Yeah, so another thing I like to think about, besides communication and the ability to understand others as they understand themselves, is the balance of selfishness and selflessness. Making sure that I am not overstepping my bounds, but also that I am not being stepped on by others. Because that is a real issue that in my life, because I'm a very nice person, and so many people think that you can take advantage of nice people. Actually, I'm not nice. Never been nice. I'm kind. There is a huge difference to me. A nice person will, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's fine. A kind person will be like, oh, I don't know if you realize this, but what you're doing is actually the opposite of the result you want. Instead of placating people and telling them what they want to hear, which is being nice, so that way they just go away and they're out of your life, being kind is letting people know where they're fucking up in a tactful way. And if they're not fucking up, being kind is maybe just a word of encouragement. You know? You don't have to be fake encouraging to people. If someone is fake encouraging, that's probably because they have something within them that they need to heal before they can have the strength to delineate between, no, I will not allow you to do this to me. You will not disrespect me in this way. And, oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to be disrespectful to you. There are two things going on here. Work example from my own personal life. Yesterday, a coworker who was not in my department, not above me. Oh, look, there I am on my website. Said something to me as I was doing a task that, number one, I was complete knowledge of what I was doing and why I was doing it. Two, I had instructions from my superior who knew what to do, why I was doing it. And I coordinated with another person at the back end who knew what I was doing, why I was doing it, and told me more things of what I should do in order to place the product where it should go. Well, as I'm doing exactly as I'm supposed to do, this coworker came up, started like, no, and like, first of all, she said, you can't put it there. I'm not putting it here. I am walking through this area with a pallet. I'm pulling it behind me and putting it here. And she said, but she came at me with aggression. I matched that aggression with firmness and be like, oh, no, I know exactly what I'm doing. I have confirmation from boom, 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 and I listed off the people. And I listed off what I was doing and why I was doing it. In this kind of tone that I'm speaking to you right now. And then she said, don't take that tone with me. I was like, ma'am, very strong, ma'am, I only speak with a tone that I am receiving. Is this where you would like the product placed? Where the place where I was going to put it anyways, and I was told to put it. She said, yeah, it's fine. So sometimes you have to be firm when you know that you're in the right. Sometimes, if someone comes at me with that attitude and I don't know, I'll take a step back and be like, oh, I did not have that information. Let's converse. Let's see what's going on. But she's done this to me several times before. And when I was in the wrong, I was like, oh, okay, let me do that. Let me fix this, blah, 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 blah. Let me do such and such and such. I no longer do the things that she, was at least let me know these are not according to policy of what we do. And I corrected that behavior. But when you're told no, when you know exactly what you're doing, you know why you're doing it, you know that it's right, and you've got confirmation from other people that it is okay to do, you should have the wherewithal and the backbone to say, nope, you're wrong, I'm right, I'm doing this, I don't care about you. And unfortunately, that is something that has to be worked on. For me, I grew up as a people pleaser due to the trauma of my upbringing. I'm not going to bring up what that is, but yes, that was an issue. And so I had to, being a people pleaser became a coping mechanism for how I dealt with people that were bossy. I think that's the only way it can really, because there's no real other way to describe it as someone that thinks that they're better than you, that they know what you should be doing, and that you should do exactly what they say. Those are the three things to me that are like, I had to do it when I was a kid because there's that over consequences. But now, I set my own consequences. I know if I do a certain set of behaviors and I get fired, that's on me. I don't care. If I have to take an extra sick day to spend time with my family, and that gets me fired, oh well. There are other jobs out there. You're not the only employer. I'm the maker of my own destiny. And I think that's something my generation and the generations coming after it have really realized, is that we are the makers of our own destiny. Just because you think that you can ruin my life doesn't mean that it's going to be ruined. I don't need your help or your input if I know my destiny. But unfortunately, I think when you have that, what's the word I'm looking for? That personality trait, maybe? Or that drive within you, that impetus, maybe? No, I think that's the wrong word. If you don't know what your destiny is, or what your fate is, or what you want to become, where your greatest desire to become is, you can lose yourself in becoming a lot of things that you really aren't. And then being pulled by people in different directions. And your individualism is really just other people's personalities that you've stuck onto yourselves, rather than setting your own personality of being like, oh, I choose these things because yada, yada, yada. Instead of just being influenced by the wind. Or not the wind, being bent around by the wind like some grass, in a field. Which is fine if you want to be grass. If you want to just flop, that's fine. Some of us want to be trees. Unfortunately, a tree is going to get knocked down by lightning. And that happens sometimes. A tree's going to break sometimes. Grass, probably not. But also, grass is everywhere. People mow down grass. Trees, I think people take a little bit more notice of them. They get in the way a lot more. Trees get cut down. But trees can also be beautiful. Trees can be ancient. Trees can provide shelter for many things. Trees can also kind of ruin the foundation of the house right next to it. So, be aware, if you're going to be a tree, you're taking the hard route. And there's no way to get around it. Your life's going to be hard. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. But if you want to take the easy path, your life's going to be miserable. Because you're just going to get walked on by everybody. You're not going to produce really much fruit. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe you could be wheat. Grow up, die, maybe some of your seeds, maybe. Keep going. You're going to be a tree that continually produces fruit for all of the critters in the environment to enjoy, as well as spread its own genetics. If you get this analogy, you get it. If you don't, I'm not going to try to explain it at this point. And I barely have done really much work. I've really just been talking to you. I don't know why I even thought of it like this would be like a work thing. So, really, this is just me ranting. This is not much of a art session. Or much of a hangout, really. It's me just kind of talking one-sided. It would be... one of these days, I'm going to get more people in the chat. I'm going to start having some questions and actually be able to start a conversation, and that's going to be fun. But until then, you're just going to hear me ramble about random things. Mostly things to do with my life. A weird way I encounter being a person. This is something you could drop in the comments, maybe. But do you ever set aside time to daydream? Do you allow your mind to go and then look at where it's going? Because psychedelics are fun, but honestly, daydreaming to me is a lot more powerful if you know how to tap into it. Because all you really need to do is shut your eyes. Relax. This is if you're a visual thinker. I don't know about people that are not visual thinkers. There might be some other type of daydreaming that works for them. But I feel like the images and the scenarios that come up and what you think about, you should write down. You should look at it. And you should find out why that's in your mind. Because daydreaming is really just kind of a tiny bit of the unconscious coming through in waves and just letting you know a little bit of things. Here's what you're thinking on. Here's what you're thinking on. You know, you're thinking about those bills. You're thinking about those bills. You know, if you're daydreaming about like some, I don't know, like transaction or something that not having enough money, or there's going to be some weird symbols in there. But it's just like regular dreaming, except for now you're awake for it, and it's something that has to be practiced. Because I find that a lot of people don't know how to be bored. They don't know how to do that and sit in silence. Because I'm gonna let you in a secret. When there's nothing around, there's no stimulus, nothing's around, you can't. If you go to a float, you'll experience the same thing, but you don't even have to go to a float. You don't have to do any of those sensory deprivation things. All you have to do, turn off your TV. Turn off your music. Maybe turn off the light, put it on low light, light a candle. Sit, close your eyes. Don't even focus on breathing. Don't meditate. Stop trying to meditate. Meditation's okay, but I find this to be more powerful. because this will let you know what you're actually thinking about. When you take time to sit and be bored, the things you don't want to think about, and that's why a lot of people don't do this, they don't like being alone with their thoughts. But that's exactly what you should be. Oh, it's time to go. You're going to have to be alone with your thoughts if you want to get through them. If you have a nagging thought about something, most likely it's because you're not taking care of that thing.